Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, back here in studio, we got Jay Smith in the house. He's our home inspection expert contributor, longtime friend of the show, one of the longest runnings on the show as well. And
what do you mean?
Snoop
One of it. It is. I am the longest running.
The longest running show partner, expert contributor on the show, Jay Smith, A Snoop Inspection in the house. Coming up here in just a minute, we're going to dive into some different real estate topics as well. Before we do, hot listing here. We'd like to feature our listings on the program. The strategy helps sellers sell faster for more money, maximum exposure, maximum profit. 7532 Yachtsman Drive in Hudson, Florida. Another waterfront beauty. We've got about 60 current listings, and about 30% of those are waterfront properties. Beautiful properties here in Tampa Bay. This one is in Hudson, Yachtsman Drive, 2-bedroom, 2-bath. Have a brand new kitchen, granite countertops, top of the line stainless steel appliances, lots of cabinet space, storm windows, hot tub. Just a great opportunity to own real estate, fireplace as well. And you have access to the Gulf of Mexico. Yachtsman Drive, Hudson, Florida. Another one of our beautiful listings. You can see all of our real estate properties at PlatinumCoastalElite.com. Check out PlatinumCoastalElite.com.
Try that in a small town. See how far you make it there.
All right, Jay Smith, welcome back, sir.
Hey, good times.
How you been, man?
Gotta love this weather.
Yes, sir. It's great out there, man. I love this time of year.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Try to wear my suits, my jackets and stuff this time of year.
Why we live in Florida.
That's right. Yeah, so, man. You staying busy out there, getting some
yeah, we're staying pretty steady. Keeping all the guys and girls busy.
Yeah, that's good. You gotta keep the folks running and trucks running. And
well, I mean, we now have a female inspector that's over in Pinellas County.
Oh, that's
so
cool.
Rachel's working on things. It's great to have her aboard. She's been around since last summer.
Nice.
So she's trucking right along. And I have a retired veteran on the south end of the county that's more so taking care of St. Pete and Gulfport and the beaches down there.
Yeah, awesome. That's good, man. Good to hear it.
Loving times. How you doing?
Yep, things are good, brother. Blessed and highly favored. Working hard, getting these listings going and growing the team. Lindsay's doing a great job on the the operations side, management side, and yeah, things are good. We just got a great relationship yesterday with a new home builder division of our company, so we're real excited about that.
Oh,
She's going to
awesome.
be a regional director for Livian inside of KW, so we're excited about that. So let's jump into some of the topics that the consumers want to know about. Misnomers, and since I did start with new construction there, I think there's misnomers there inside the new construction space, aren't there? Especially when it comes to getting your own independent inspection.
Well, I mean, it wasn't many years ago that some of the builders wouldn't even allow a third party inspection.
Wow.
I mean, in the contract, you weren't allowed to have it. I think there was enough backlash that they said, okay, we're cutting that out of the contracts.
Wow.
I'm not going to name any names.
Come on, please do.
But they were out there, and there were some unhappy clients. They would call me up, and we were trying to do an inspection. All of a sudden, they're calling me back and saying, I can't have you out. The builder won't allow you to be on the property. Now, a lot of that's changed, and we're allowed to go out there.
Yeah.
I do have people that do pre-drywall inspections.
Right.
So we're really looking at the actual construction of the building and not just the finish work, and then, getting the finish work done. And then beyond that, getting the 11th month inspection, the warranty inspection done before you're releasing the builder, before the end of the year. Yeah. So there's 3 different inspections you can do. And if you don't do one, you want to do the other, you might not do the full inspection, like it's just timing's not right to get it done before you take possession, but you definitely should do the 11-month warranty inspection. It's a good idea.
Yeah, absolutely, Jay. And yeah, because it makes sense. Before that drywall goes on, what are you looking at behind the scenes there?
I mean, everything. I mean, it can come down like we spray foam windows now. Sometimes they spray foam it a little bit too much, and it's really hard to operate it. It's much easier to fix that window before the drywall and the trim is all over it than later. I mean, I've been in houses that, you got 12, 15 windows, and 2 or 3 of them are very difficult to move.
Right.
Not that we open a lot of windows in Florida, but you do want them to operate properly.
Yeah, not have to have a hassle every time you buy a brand new home. You expect things to work properly, but I could see what you're saying. That spray foam, it spans so fast, so aggressively sometimes.
Yeah, and I mean, even just checking the hurricane clips. You can see the ductwork a lot easier when there's no drywall up there, and make sure something's not kinked too much, that they just kind of cut it too close, and you can say something to them. Or honestly, even looking at the lumber, I'll pull up bowed than the next, and it might only be 2 or 3 studs, but it makes for a better product in the end.
It sure does, absolutely. We're talking with Jay Smith, A Snoop Inspection here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, longtime friend of the show. All of your home inspections needs. Also, you're doing the commercial side too, Jay?
Yeah, we do some light commercial. I do different projects on a regular basis. I've actually inspected a Tractor Supply before. I've inspected restaurants. I've inspected, Tampa Skate Park years and years ago when it changed hands. That some of the partners were leaving. So we've done some interesting projects through the years.
Yeah, that's awesome. What is like your number one question that you get or misnomer that people might have about inspections? And I think a lot of times too with price point they might say, oh well, because it's much more affordable, especially if you're just doing a 4-point. The price point is the difference there too.
Yeah, I mean, some people think a 4-point is like a full inspection, and it really isn't. It's a limited inspection to where a 4-point only takes 45 minutes an hour to do, where a full inspection is 3-4 hours.
Right.
That's a huge difference. I mean, you can only do so much in an hour, but we're only checking the big items. Right. When you're doing a 4-point, but that's strictly for just obtaining insurance. It's not to give you all the knowledge of the house.
Plumbing, roof, electrical, AC. That's your 4 points, right?
That's the 4 points.
And then the original question: what's one of the biggest misnomers? What are you getting out there?
Biggest misnomer. I don't know. There's just so many little tedious things that happen. I mean, with the electrical. One thing that's tough is, when someone's selling a home, they might have existing insurance. The insurance companies, believe it or not, I feel like they're tougher on a new buyer, along with the mortgage companies, to where, oh, I've got insurance right now, and then we find an issue that we think should be addressed. And they're saying, well, I have insurance already. But, the insurance companies would prefer if this was fixed. And they can actually slow down insurance for that reason.
Yeah.
And it could be an electrical problem. It could be a roofing problem. It could be anything.
Yeah, plumbing. We see these different issues come in. And then here's a big part of the real estate transaction. The buyers go under contract, and then they have their inspection. And now you have this second round of negotiations that happen and play out. And, a lot of times it's like, hey, let's solve the issue. Let's get to the closing table. And I know you come in and sometimes you'll review those as well with people.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And
that's the difference between, a first-class organization that's going to hold their hand a little bit more, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I take questions all day long.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I was a little bit late getting here today to sit down with you just because there was different questions coming in. It's like, hey, what about this? What about that?
Yep.
Redoing some 4 points that I just, did some re-inspections on yesterday and went out to the property. And that's one of the big things. I mean, with the 4 points, you really can't do things from just some picks from a contractor. We really need to go back out and re-inspect and make sure it's done correctly.
Yeah, I like that. And you want to make sure that you're doing things in a timely manner. You got to make sure you're staying under contract and in the contract, and that's something that your realtor should do for you. Jay Smith, A Snoop Inspection on the Consumer Quarterback Show. We got about a minute left or so, Jay. Final thought, how do you want people to connect with you, the website, socials?
Easiest way, of course, our phone number for the office, 813-345-2600. You can find us on Facebook. Just look up A Snoop Inspection. There's only one around. That's me. Or go to our website, www.a-snoop.com. Again, 813-345-2600.
Yep. And there was an interesting story that we talked about earlier on with Ray Hall. Ray Hall was on the front end. Top countries for Florida, international buyers. Canada, 18%. Colombia, 10%. Brazil, 7%. Argentina, 7%. And the UK rounding out the top 5 at 4%. So Are you seeing your share of those? Are you seeing some of those guys out there?
I mean, we work with a certain amount of the Canadians and, some of the other countries. European more so than South America. I haven't done a whole lot of South American ones.
Yeah, it's interesting to see, too, where they'll flock to, the East Coast or the West Coast, certain areas. To,
Absolutely.
Those purchases. But, yeah, check them out online, A-Snoop. Inspection.com. What's the website, Jay?
A-Snoop.com. No inspection, just
A-Snoop.com. A-Snoop.com. Jay Smith, thanks for coming in, man.
All right, good to see you.
Hey, my pleasure, buddy. All right, hey, another great show. We had Ray Hall Appraisals on the show, Dr. Doug Arvanitis, and also Jay Smith, A Snoop Inspection, of course. And we want you to please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness. Do something kind for another. Be a force for good in the community. And we'll see you next time right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, ConsumerQB.com.
You've been listening to The Consumer Quarterback, brandonR.